3 days of darkness. Let me open this chapter with a deep concern. Whenever any fear slips in, my apologies will be loud and clear, for that is not the purpose of this work. I want to avoid it at all costs. The 3 days of darkness are not about fear and panic, but about ascension into the fourth dimension. I extend my apologies over and over again for any fear that might arise, and please understand that I am not trying to scare you. I am trying to prepare you for ascension. The shift is about love, and any fear you feel is what you have chosen. Choose wisely, my friends, for the shift will be the start of an awakening to behold. The 3 days of darkness actually pertain to Mother Earth's entry into the photon belt. This will produce the 3 days of darkness, and this event heralds the beginning of the shift, or ascension, into the fourth dimension. Let me give you a brief explanation of what will happen during this period. The whole event will take place over a period of 7 to 10 days or so, but please don't hold me to these numbers because it can fluctuate a day or so either way. First day, there will be the sense of complete and utter turmoil at this point. It is not to create fear. Yes, the fear is allowed by the Creator, but you do not have to enter into this fear. Those of you who read this work will be aware of the events that will transpire during this period. You will say to yourself, this is exactly what Kyrael said would happen. You will still have to fight off the fear, though, because it will permeate the earth plane. It's an awakening of a very deep cellular memory that must come to the surface. This is contrived by the light beings to make sure that everybody gets through the shift by really healing their fears. And, again, because you live so much in fear, you actually do so many good things from fear. Healing your fears is all part of the Creator's design. This is another reason why you should be attempting to deal with your current fears. As you become practiced in dealing with and dissipating your fears, you will be better able to cope with the shift. Some fears that you face today are things like, are my bills paid? Will I remain married, and if not, what shall I do? Will I lose all my money on some silly investment? These are, of course, very real, but when looked at in reality, all you need to do is confront the issue, and be willing to handle it to the point where the issue comes to total clarity. Then guess what? It always turns out to be not that great big monster you saw. In fact, it becomes extremely manageable, for the most part. This is why I emphasize that you complete all your self-learning projects on a timely basis. When you have learned, as best as possible, to deal with your fears, it will make the shift an adventure as opposed to a nightmare. Practice makes perfect. So, in the very first day, you will vibrate with the illusion of mass illness and seemingly devastating disruption. You will literally be leaving the third dimension and become caught up in the fourth dimension, with the photon energy mixing in. You will sense the Earth's shifting, major shifting, more so than you may have ever felt up to that point. You will quite literally not want to be walking around in the first 12 hours or so of this first day. You will literally be forced to remain stationary. This is Mother Earth's way of coming to a screeching halt. In this period, she shakes herself out and realigns many of her aspects. All of this is already mapped out, and she knows just how far to go without knocking herself completely off course. So that will be one of your very first indications, the appearance of massive turmoil followed by Mother Earth really rumbling. You will have had a number of earthquakes prior to this. Earthquakes will have become almost commonplace by this time. I'm not talking about your big 8s or 9s on the Richter scale, but 5s, 6s, and below, because that's where Mother Earth will show that she is just getting ready. But when she gets into her final shift position, where the energy of the dimension is going from the third dimension to the fourth, and the photon energy has already begun to engulf Earth, she will set the stage for her last spins through the third dimension. So for about 12 to 16 hours on that first day, you will literally have a difficult time staying upright. Don't panic. Do you know how many times you need to be reminded of this? Please don't panic. If you do not panic in these first few hours, things will begin to settle themselves because the rocking and rolling will begin to taper off. Next, some of the other features that will begin to manifest are the decrease in temperature and sunlight. It will actually begin to look like late evening for the next couple of days. You won't get to see much sun from here on, until you get out of this part of the shift. In that time, an awesome awakening will begin to manifest. Depending on your extrasensory abilities, those friends or relatives who have passed on to the other side will be able to communicate with you. This will enable you to work in a way that most have not experienced in this current embodiment. This is just one more reason why, for the past few years, the guides who know of the shift have been recommending meditation. My truth tells me that the word should be uppercase, for that is the importance I place on it. Second, increasing darkness will have begun to permeate the earth plane, along with a cold never before experienced. It will be a deep cold, for it will penetrate inside of you. At this time, you will make a connection with other entities who are not carbon-based. Here's another reason why you cannot live your life based in